Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you're all keeping really well. Today I thought I would do a little chat through of my coat collection because I feel like compared to last year it's quite different. I've accumulated quite a few new additions to my wardrobe, which is great because I always felt like my coat collection was quite lacking. And living in a cold country or like somewhere that has cold winters, cold and rainy, coats are very important. And I feel like at this time of year sometimes, and definitely as it gets colder, if you like go out to meet a friend or something, you go for a walk, or, you go on a bit of a day out, sometimes your coat is all they see unless you get to actually go indoors and sit down and take off your jacket. But so your coat's kind of vital to the overall look of your outfit. You could wear something that's not super exciting underneath, but if you've got a really nice coat, you can really elevate the look. So I put a bit of time into kind of finding really nice coats for myself this year. That being said, only three of these are new to my wardrobe, and they're not all new or brand new either. So I'm going to talk through each of them. I'm going to do a little cutaway and like a try on because there's no way you'd be able to see these from the hanger because they're really long. Some of them are anyway. So yeah, we'll do a little chat through. I'll say where I got them, how much they were, just if you're kind of thinking about, that you need a new coat or you're just looking for something in particular. I don't normally share brands when I'm sharing my pieces because I tend to shop secondhand a lot. So it's not always useful to share brands because they're not like you can just go out and find them. But I also like to know brands sometimes, and I know some of you do because you do ask, so that you can like go and search for those brands secondhand yourself. So it can be helpful sometimes. So just for this instance, I'm going to share brands, when I got them, how much they were, if I can remember, things like that. So the first one on the rail is one of the first new ones, and this was actually bought new. It was bought at a sample sale, so not. I feel like it's still new, but it was definitely heavily discounted. So this one is from Phase 8. It's a lovely wool coat, fully lined. This gorgeous, I feel like it's kind of like a stone color, maybe. Really nice. It's not too light of a cream, but it's not a beige either. It's kind of somewhere in between a cream and a beige, but it's super soft. I feel like there must be like a bit of cashmere blended in here or something. Let's see if there's a tag. There is. Sure, we'll check this. I think it's like a production sample, so I don't think there's actually a fabric care tag in it. But I just love it. It's super long. I've been wearing this so much lately. I was really excited to wear this because I got it at a sample center in the summer. But I knew it was something that I would wear for like the next 30 years of my life, as long as it stays relatively clean. So it's double breasted. It's got really nice buttons on it, kind of this little pop. So it means that when I want to wear outfits that aren't all kind of lighter color, it's like if I want to wear black shoes, this almost just kind of ties in the little bits of black pockets. I can't really say much more about it, other than I love it, and they do really nice coats. And one thing I would recommend for a winter coat is to get a really really long one because it means you can kind of wear absolutely anything underneath it, and you're sheltered from the wind. Um, Say you want to wear like a skirt or something, or a dress, or you know, I kind of thought this would be like a really dressy occasion coat. Um, to wear to a wedding over a dress or something if it was like a winter wedding or just a cold day. Because of the lighter color, it can be worn year round. But yeah, just the longer length, kind of if you ended up wearing bare legs or something, or just some thin tights, a long coat, excuse me, a long coat will be your best friend. Next up is my trench coat, which I've had for I want to say like 5 years. I bought this when I worked in River Island back when I was in uni in Limerick. So I think I paid £30 for it. It was in the River Island sale at the time. I feel like £32 or something like that. But it's a really nice light beige trench coat. You can get ones that are kind of creamier or like a bit lighter and get this kind of like stony tone again, or you can get like a much darker camel. And I just really like this because I find it really versatile. But I was always like crying out for a camel coat, even though I had this. But I love it. I love all the detailing. Love that it's again double breasted. All just like this kind of typical kind of details you would find on a trench coat, like is it they called epaulettes or something like that, if I remember correctly from uni. nice pockets, nice waist belt as well. Have worn this so much, and it's still holding up well. It's not necessarily my dressiest coat anymore, but I still could get away with it. Like, I've worn it a good few times, or washed it a good few times, and the fabric still seems to be fine. The only thing is that it's faded slightly. So if you can tell here, I don't wash this because of the buckle. If you can tell, it's a slightly different color. So this is a bit more, this is the original color. This is just a bit like warmer, or a bit more kind of saturated in color. But other than that, it's perfect. Next up is that camel coat I was craving for years that I finally found this year. I bought this at the start of the month. Was it the start of this month? No, because it's only, no, I think it was the start of September. Um, this is a really heavy coat, actually, even just to hold. This is even longer than the first coat I showed you. So this is like a full length. Let's see where it ends on me. I'm just gonna check in the mirror. Okay, it's almost to the ground on me, and I'm 5 foot 5.5. It's amazing. Again, it's fully lined, kind of a black lining. Really nice button detail. I love the kind of dark brown buttons as well. And they look almost like a little leather button, if that's even, or like a wooden button. Um, Really nice big pockets. I haven't actually worn this yet because I just feel like it's a bit heavier than I need right now because it's not that cold. But I'm very excited to wear it when it gets like really cold. It's a nice chunky knitwear underneath. This one is from Wallace, but I picked it up on Vinted. I think it was like £20, and it's a wool and cashmere blend. Let's see, 70% wool, 20% nylon, 10% cashmere. Um, but it's really nice. It doesn't feel like it's cashmere like the other one. That the first one feels softer, but I think it's probably like the bit of nylon that's in it as well, and the high wool content. But it does mean it's also good quality and it's just going to last a little bit longer. Just going to take really good care of this and not let any moths get near it. But I bought this in a size 8. My previous navy coat that if you're a long time subscriber or just from like 2 years ago, you'll know that it was like the coat I wore all winter long. But 2 years ago, we had a really bad moth problem in our last flat, and it just kind of got eaten. Um, this is even longer than that. So that was kind of when I fell in love with super long coats. But that was also a couple of sizes bigger for me, which I feel like added to the oversizedness. Um, and this is my size. And what I really like about this as well is that it has that raglan sleeve. So raglan sleeve is basically when the sleeve pattern comes from the neckline. So there's no like shoulder seam here, it's here. And it just gives a really kind of relaxed silhouette, kind of just like falls off the shoulder nicely. It's a really nice shape, so it's quite nice. Let me show you what I mean. I compare it to this one, which has just like this kind of typical shoulder. So if you are sizing up in a coat, when you do it with a raglan sleeve or like a drop shoulder, it can be nice. But if you're sizing up in a coat that's supposed to have a seam here and it's a bit off, it can look a bit funny. So that's just something to look out for, is like how something fits you on the shoulders, because you can have something really oversized, but that is kind of a giveaway that it doesn't really fit you. Next up is a coat I've probably had for 4 years maybe. So I got this the first year I moved to London when I was living in my first London flat. I just kind of have visions of getting it in the post. This I bought because I got it on Depop first of all. I can't remember how much, maybe £10-15. I bought this new, or I didn't buy it new secondhand, but I bought it because I hadn't packed my leopard print faux fur coat that I had left in Ireland. It was getting into winter and I was like, I just desperately need a coat. I'm not going home anytime soon. So I bought a new one. And that leopard print one was my first faux fur coat. Where Andrew bought it for me, I think, for our second Christmas together. And I just loved it so much. And I wore it straight for like, I'm going to say like 7 years. This one has been holding up a little bit better, but I think it's because the hair is a little bit longer. So it doesn't kind of matte as much. And I really like the print of this compared to my last one. The other one's a bit more orange and this one is a bit more neutral. And this one's also longer. So it's more like to my knee or just above. So again, it keeps me really warm. Faux fur coats are really easy to find, I think, on Vinted and Depop and places like that. or even in charity shops sometimes. But I find shopping on secondhand apps is just a little bit easier than charity shops because you've got a broader selection. Because obviously there's basically every user on it, but you can also filter by your size. So if I'm at charity shops, sometimes they can either be like really small sizes or really big sizes, not so much of the like more common sizes. But I just love a faux fur coat for like something really, really warm. It's also a little bit of like drama that you can add to your wardrobe, which is nice. It's a little bit more fun than just typical wool coat. So depending on your vibe for your winter wardrobe, that might be the way to go. But I would recommend, I mean, I'll have my recommendations at the end, but I would recommend having at least one wool coat because it can be both a dressy coat and an everyday coat and just keep you really warm. Next up is this coat, which again you might have seen a lot on here if you've been around for a while. It's not looking its best. This is a coat I got in British Heart Foundation charity shop in Camden when I worked in Camden. So probably again 3 years ago, 2.5, maybe three. It's originally from Primark, so that's why it's not the best quality, but it's this gorgeous rust color. And I feel like anytime I wear it, I get comments being like, "That color, that coat is amazing," and it is. It's just that the fabric is looking quite bobbly, as you can see. So I might just have to try and like get my cashmere comb at it if that works. But I know it's a polyester coat, so it's not really going to do much to it. Yeah, there's no tag inside, but I'm pretty sure it's not wool and it's just polyester. Um, but I have loved it, and it's a really nice coat. It's single breasted. I think it's, apart from my faux fur coat, the only single breasted one I have, and it closes with these kind of little snaps. And I really like the kind of blazer style lapel on it. It's just that the just doesn't look as good as it could anymore. So it's not a dressy coat I would ever wear, but it's definitely one I could wear at like weekends and stuff, and I don't need to be super dressy. And just adding this color into my wardrobe just looks so good with all my other neutrals. But it just kind of, it literally just adds autumn to my wardrobe. Like this color is just autumn in a nutshell. I think that was about £10 when I bought it in the charity shop. Yeah, something like that. And again, if you're looking for like a really affordable winter coat, there's nothing wrong with Primark. I have gotten a few years out of that before it ended up looking like this. And the reason it looks like this is because I wore it so much. So there's nothing wrong with having those kind of more like fast fashion items in your wardrobe. Like this style is really classic. It's not too trending, and it's the kind of piece that I was able to repeat year after year. Next up is a kind of casual coat that I basically just added into my wardrobe because I was going to a festival and I needed something really warm, basically something I could probably sleep in, because I went to a festival at the end of September and it was really cold and it was in Ireland. So Andrew had pointed this one out to me in a charity shop, and it was kind of an impulse because I wasn't necessarily looking for something that day, but he spotted it. This color, oh, I think it's my new favorite color. I just feel like it really goes with my coloring. It's like a pink that I can do. It's just this like dusky pink, but it's real like earthy. I feel like I love color. Funny I say that because I have a whole wardrobe of neutrals, but I love color. But I feel like I love the more like earthy colors, which is probably why I'm drawn more to like browns and burnt oranges like this, or like a burnt brown, like a rust. But I feel like this is kind of like an earthy pink. Totally going off topic, but this is a really good one for weekends, going for a dog walk. If I had a dog, I need to get back on borrow my doggy, borrow someone's dog friend. Going for a walk in the park or just kind of running errands, just something comfy, but it still looks really nice. This is actually, I think, maybe 4 sizes bigger than my own size, but I think it fits really nicely. It could maybe be 1 size smaller, but I wouldn't want it to fit any smaller than that. So, another tip if you're shopping for coats is to try them on. You don't always have to stick to your own size. If it's maybe they've designed it to be more fitted than you want it to be, so you could size up. That is, I mean, I have mentioned this before about charity shops, that you shouldn't go out and like, if you're the kind of person who alters things, and so you can just like go out and buy absolutely any size. So you go out and you can buy like loads of the bigger sizes and be like, oh, this is great for fabric, or I can alter it to fit me. It's good to be really conscious that it's hard enough to get plus size clothing without smaller sized people buying all the plus size clothing in charity shops. So that is one thing to be aware of. Um, but just saying, sometimes it's worth trying on because it actually might fit you. Um, so yeah, I got this and I love it, and I wore it the whole weekend at the festival, and I haven't stopped really wearing it since I've been home. I've just been kind of wearing this and this cream one on rotation, so they kind of serve a different purpose. This is like a nice pop of color. The other one's a nice chic cream, and it makes me feel so sophisticated when I wear it. This one was £15. It's originally from Asda, Georgia Asda. So I just think a nice teddy coat. It's very trending at the moment, but it's also a coat that I could wear next year, the year after. I don't think it's going to be ever one of those trends that you're like, oh, you're still wearing teddy coats, because like they're cozy as hell. So why would you not be? They're my main coats. I just wanted to talk about two jackets as well. The first isn't really a jacket; it's a blazer, but it's great for autumn. Kind of when you're like, is it hot enough, or is it hot enough? Is it cold enough for a coat? Am I going to be melting by lunchtime? Am I going to be absolutely roasting once I get to the office and the heat's on? So a blazer can be a really good in-between jacket for those times of the year. And this one in particular, well, this is one of my most expensive of all these. This is Mother of Pearl. I think I bought this on the outnet. So I think at the time it might have only been like £50 or something. I got it like on sale, and then like it was like discount on discount. So really lucky. But I love it, and this is double breasted as well. Really nice blazer. Adds a little pop of something, but it's nice because it's not too fitted. I can't remember if it's my size or if it's a size up. It is my size, but I think because it's double breasted and it's a bit of a relaxed fit, I can layer like knitwear and stuff underneath it. So I can still layer up and be warm, but I'm not like layering up my knitwear and then being super warm. So and it's like it's kind of tricky sometimes in the office. Like, do you want to wear something light underneath and wear a big coat? So the coat you have when you're outside and it's cold, and then in the office you take that off and you've got a light outfit from the heat's on. Or sometimes it's like the opposite. Like it's kind of maybe a bit mild outside and you only need a light jacket with your knitwear. But then when you get into the office, it's actually freezing. So you need to have like your chunkier layers rather than your chunkier coats. So I guess it depends on your own situation, which will work best for you. But again, you can kind of, if you have a couple of options, you don't need to have 8 options. But even if you had like 3 or 4 options, just for kind of going into autumn winter, you have your light jacket, or maybe it's like all year round kind of jacket, and layer up more underneath it. And then as you get into the winter, just make sure you have something that really does keep you warm. My last one here is a leather jacket, and this I got at Camden Market. It was £10. They have a really cool secondhand leather jacket shop in Camden Market. And I think now they've all gone up to like £12. There's some that are more expensive, but there's a couple of rails. Everything's £12. At the time, it was £10, and I got this one. And I love it so much. It's such a nice kind of vintagey, boxy, quite a classic fit. I feel like I stopped wearing my biker jacket years ago. I think I still have it at home in Ireland though. But this one is just a lot more me, and it's a lot more classic. But again, it's great because one, it's waterproof, and two, kind of like shower proof, and two, it's again kind of a bit lighter to wear over knitwear, and also a bit shorter, so you're not quite as like covered up as you would be in like a really really long wool coat. So all in all, these coats, these kind of 8 coats together, didn't cost me that much. 100, maybe near to 200. I'm not really sure, but they definitely cost me under £200 for the 8 of them. So coats can be really expensive, and that is why I love to buy them secondhand. Apart from the fact that it is more sustainable, but just when you're buying a coat, if you are buying something that's a little bit more expensive than your typical budget, just make sure it's something that's really classic style, so that it's not going to go out of fashion, or you're not going to end up with something that next year you can't really wear because it's kind of over. So again, like a really classic, really just clean lines, really simple, in quite a neutral color, or a color that goes with the rest of your wardrobe. So your wardrobe's super colorful. A neutral coat might still be better to pair with those. Or if you love to mix match color, just make sure it's color that goes with the majority of your wardrobe or the majority of your autumn and winter wardrobe anyway. And then once you've got kind of like one or two coats, you can start experimenting a little bit. Maybe you want to add in a little bit of texture or print. Maybe you want a little bit of a pop of color. Maybe you kind of want to experiment with some leather or, having a blazer as an option as well. And if you don't have any really, really warm coats right now, um, pull out some of your lighter coats and just make sure you're layering those underneath them. I hope going through my coat collection was helpful for you if you're thinking of investing in any new coats for your autumn or winter wardrobe. If you have any questions about, I don't know, fabrics to choose from or textures or, any questions about any of these, do let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. I get back to all the comments. If you're not already subscribed, I would love if you were to click that subscribe button and also click the like button if you enjoyed this video and want to see more. What is the next collection you'd like to see? Thinking about doing a shoe collection video. Haven't done one of those in a while. But yeah, could I do a knitwear collection? Could do jeans collection, dresses, skirts. I don't have tons of skirts, but I could definitely do a little mini skirt collection and kind of like a styling video in one. Yeah, let me know what you want to see. Ooh, jewelry collection. Haven't really done anything like that before. Let me know anyway what you want to see, and I will speak to you all really soon. Have a great week.